Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. And this is part three I should say, of my visit to G-Dad's Collectables between what's near Hanslope, I would say. I think, or anyway, it's just north of Milton Keynes. And yeah, so we'll plough on. I find a few little surprises that sleepers in the... There's always sleepers there. This is, I think, about the fourth time I've been, and they're always... I didn't buy anything this time. That's because I really need to sell some stuff. I really do. So I'm being ultra cautious at the moment. So yeah, I could have bought some, but no, there were a few things that... Anyway, that's by the by. Let's get on and have a look at some glass, eh? Got a nice pulled bowl here. I'm not sure who this is by. It might be Murano. I don't think it's Kribska. It might even be French, might be Vans. I'm not certain, but I will try and find it. Looking at 20th Century Glass website. This is the bowl that's the nearest to the one we were looking at. It's got quite a few features that are very, very similar. So one of them is that one is bilateral, I think, or whatever. It's got two arms, yeah, and one of them is, yeah, they curl over a bit. The one we're looking at just curls over a bit more at one end than it does the other. But I've noticed that actually looking through similar bowls to this, others are like the one that we're looking at with more curl on one side than the other. This one's nice because the colorway, the blue is in the same way, so it's quite dark close to the edge and then it fades out. The bottom one, this is green, and the one we were looking at in the G-Dads is brown or amber. But yeah, but the way it's done together, where you can see this bit here and then you've got a different colorway underneath it, is the same, and this ridge underneath here, that's the same too. So I'm happy that this is going to be from the same manufacturer. The only problem is that 20th Century Glass don't know who that manufacturer is. Yeah, they let me down. They just say it's Murano. And I do know that from what I've seen, especially for things like the American market where they were exporting stuff, the different houses would clump together and ship stuff out. And it's not always clear who made what. So probably now we'll never put it down. It doesn't even say how old it is. So at least we know it's Murano. I'm happy with that. I've been through and looked at Kribska and a few others, but I'm happy that, in fact, in 20th Century Glass, I actually went and ploughed through every bowl that was in there before going, yeah, it's Murano, and then started ploughing through all the Murano ones to find one that was the closest to it. So I'm comfy that it is Murano. I'm just a bit disappointed that we don't have a maker. Here we've got what looks like a Stuart Crystal Stratford little cocktail glass designed by Ludwig Knijn, 1921. But anyway, that's by the by. I saw these behind. So these are funny little bark vases. I've never seen this pattern before. They don't have a ponton. They have a safety rim. So they're kind of mass produced. But yeah, why would I not see it? I'm wondering if there's something like Finnish or something like that, because they made some bark vases as well that are not very common here. It'd be interesting to try and find them. What has it got written on them? Set of 4 glasses, £8. So if they are Finnish, that's probably a bargain. But we'll try and figure that out. So after looking through about 8 million textured tumblers, or it feels like it anyway, yeah, I can't find any references for that tumbler. It looks so familiar, I'm sure. The only one I found that's actually, it's not the same, it's the same texture, so I'm pretty certain it's part of the same service. This is the tall version. Look, you see here. Is that going to show it? Not very well photographed, but It's like a tall, slimmer version, so it's called them high balls. But it's on Etsy, and that means they don't have a clue either. They just don't know. They've just said vintage 6 tumblers, riffled bar, retro bar, 1970s. And they've even put 1970s here, and they put vintage from the 1960s down here. They have no idea, just like me. So, but they do want £25, and I think they're probably worth £25 because, yeah, I have a feeling they're Scandinavian. Or maybe German, because there's some German ones as well, but they're not the same as the German ones. The German ones are a bit like it, but not. So yeah, I'm flummoxed with that one. Just in here, there, can you see the pattern? This is Whitefriars Tamara pattern. It's from the 1930s, and I think this is a Ludwig Knight design as well. It's a jam pot, I think, or mustard. You see it's got a little notch in the lid when you put the spoon in. So yeah, that's quite a cool little thing. Got £9.50 on it, so we will see if that's a good price. I think it is. I think it's decent. This is the Stuart Crystal 1964 catalogue, downloaded from the Stuart Crystal Collectors Facebook group. Now, this is the pattern Tamara, I think it is, actually, because it's all A's. And yeah, there's no little jar in this. This is a service, though. I don't know if it should be in here. Maybe. Anyway, it's got a lot in it. You know, there's like how many types of glass? 8 types of glass, or if you count iced tea, 9. Then you've got 4 types of tumbler. Oh, and fruit juice as well. 10 types of glass if you count fruit juice. Yeah, 2 types of jug, 2 types of decanter, and a finger bowl. Yeah, it's got like everything bar the kitchen sink thrown at it, and that little pot's not in it either. But anyway, yeah. So this is the pattern. And I've been trying to, so this is 1964, and I was trying to figure out, I thought it would be from the 1930s, so I thought, because I did first look at the 1938 catalogue, and it wasn't in there. But here I've got the pattern number 28954, so that's 28,954. So I went back to the 1938 catalogue, and I'm not going to try and re-find it, so I've been going through and looking through all of the numbers in here, and the highest number in here was 284 something, 422 I think it was, or something like that. Anyway, which is about 500 below what we were looking at, so that means it probably is. This is a 1938 catalogue, and if you look at how extensive it is, this would have taken quite a while to put together. So a lot of these patterns would probably nearly all of them would have existed in 1938. This would have taken several weeks. So I think that pattern number is probably from 1939, because there's only like about 500 to go. And if you think the pattern numbers here at 28,000, you know, there's not hundreds of years worth of patterns here. So I think it's either end of 1938 or 1939. So yeah, so, and it probably means, because it's got a leaf in it, you know, you can see this stylized leaf. This was like a signature of Ludwig Knight, so I suspect it's a Ludwig Knight design. Just my thoughts. There is supposed to be a book on Stuart Crystal coming, and maybe we'll know the truth then. Check out this one big piece of pressed glass here. A square base, can you see? This looks like it's got Star Cup pressed into the base as well. I think it says 1930s. I think this is either Bagley or Stossel. I might be wrong. I will try and find it, but I think it's 1930s, but we'll figure it out. We're looking at the museum collections for Wakefield Council, and they have a pile of Bagley glass in here. There's not, I don't think there's any Bagley catalogues online, but this is a really great resource. You can just, page 16 of 272, so you've got piles of items in here, 262 items. Anyway, didn't take me long to find the vase. It's a Salisbury pattern, and it's got design number 2832, Bagley & Co, 1932 to 75. It's in blue here. I think I've seen it in amber as well. I don't think I've seen a blue one. So yeah, it comes in, obviously probably comes in green as well. It's not a catalogue, so it's not telling you what colours they do. But anyway, that's good enough. You've got dates, you've got a name, you've got pattern number. You definitely know it's Bagley, so we're good to go with that. Got a little Vaseline vase in here in the back, can you see? There's another one vase next to it. It says they're both Victorian. The Thorn one might be John Walsh. I would have to look and see, but loads of people made them. So yeah, they're difficult to pin down. But we can go through the books and through the catalogues and see if we can actually pin it exactly or not. Spent a bit of time looking for that Vaseline vase, the one with the sort of like crimply top and the little feet sticking out, like it's a upright log. It's a naturalistic thing. And yeah, it is a thing that was made. I know a lot of companies made them. The one that strikes me as sort of like the most common one is John Walsh. Look, here's a similar kind of thing, but it's not quite the same. There's lots of them that are not quite the same. I did look for John Walsh, and I thought I'd show you something, because it's like, how can I put this nicely? Batshit crazy, okay. So this is the John Walsh ones, yeah. So here's how they are. See, the legs are not the same. So the legs that we were looking at are like pinched with the tweezers with little grooves in it, and these are just like little stretchy bits of glass that have been put out at angles. Let me show you one. Yeah, those are nothing like the legs on the ones we were looking at. So, and these have got little bits sticking out of them, the barky bits. So thorn vase, in fact, they're thorns. So yeah, so that's what it is. Or that's what these are, but that's not what that is, because the one we're looking at didn't have thorns. It just had a rippled surface, vertically rippled, and then a little scallop top, and this doesn't have scallop top. So yeah, it's not them. It vaguely looks like it. It's a log shape with feet on it, and it's uranium glass, but apart from that, it's not the same. But when I was hunting around, I did find something. So this is John Walsh, and I found this advert for John Walsh. Look at this. Look at this. So this is a picture from John Walsh, and this is how they say that you should have it, with a big central one like this, with chains coming off like this, and then like a little fence with little chains and flowers coming out the top of them all. That's how you would arrange it on your table. Absolutely bonkers. Never seen anything like that. You'd have to do a lot of collecting to get enough. And I don't think any of the ones we were looking at had thorns that were sticking up like this, so you could attach the chains to them. But anyway, just what a thing. But anyway, let's let me see if I can make it closer so you can have a better look at it. Look at that. Isn't that bonkers? Imagine that in the middle of your dining room table. Anyway, we'll move on. This is from the Edwardian period, by the way. So, what year is it? From 1906. A little glass basket. It doesn't have the usual stripes. It doesn't have the blippy on the top. But it is cased.
I think this is a Romanian one. Not 100% certain, but the way the base is made is just like theirs. In here we have a posy vase. It says possibly White Frost. This is actually Thomas Webb. The pattern is called Wave. Yeah, very original. If you hold it upright, you'll see that it actually makes a square, as opposed to the White Frost ones that make a hexagon. But what's more interesting to me is these labels, and you've got 3 little bowls. This one, the one on the right here, has, if I zoom in, there you go, it's got a Selby label. And the one in the middle has got a Nazing label, and then this one doesn't, but I think this one, this little clamshell one, I think that one's Davidson. So it's interesting, you've got these similar bowls here, all that look like they're from the same family, but in actual fact they're from completely different manufacturers. The book we're looking at here is 20th Century British Glass by Charles Hajdemach. Now, I've done this exercise before, where I'm kind of like trying to prove that some things are not Thomas Webb Gay series, because I used to think almost everything from this period was Gay series, and now I'm kind of reading things very carefully and realising actually they're not. So for starters, it tells you the 3 colours for Gay series. There's Spring, Sunshine and Evergreen. Spring is sort of like a pale blue colour, Sunshine is uranium yellow, and Evergreen is the, they call it Bristol green, but it's dark green. So those are 3 colours. The 3 patterns that it uses, the moulded patterns, are plain, which is obviously no mould, Venetian ripple, which is also known as heavy pillar, and Old English bullseye, which is this one here with the little balls on it. So the posy vase we're looking at is, one is amethyst, so it's none of these colours, and the pattern is called Wave, and I will show you the wave pattern and also the Venetian ripple in another book. So this book is British Glass 1800 to 1914 by Charles Hajdemach as well. And yeah, what we have here is some factory drawings from Thomas Webb, laying out the different patterns that they've got. The one we're looking at is called Wave, which is clearly not one of the Gay series patterns. And then, yeah, so they don't have Venetian ripple on here, but it mentioned that Venetian ripple is also known as pillar. And if we scroll a bit over here a bit, this is pillar here, which is an entirely vertical pattern. So it says it's sometimes twisted, but that's what it is. So yeah, it's not Gay series. It's Thomas Webb Posy Bowl, probably pre-war, because that's when posy bowls were popular, and it's in amethyst. We're looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and yeah, in the post-war era, little vases like this one here, I think this one is like the one that's unmarked. It's like a little clamshell. It's got the Nazing label on it. Can you see there? That's always nice. A lot of the 20th Century Glass does have labels on it. They're not giving any date or any other details, but it's got the label on it. And yeah, you can see here, actually the base looks like it's cut or polished, and then yeah, that's not pontil, that's just pressed glass. So yeah, lots of manufacturers made them. There's a Selby one, I can't find it in the catalogues, but if I go across to, this is the Davidson catalogue for 1956, you can see that this one is similar, and that one, they're all slightly different. And this is one of my issues, is that yeah, everybody's making this kind of bowl, and if you go down here, there's these ones which are a bit like the one that's by Nazing on the stand there.
you know, this kind of thing. So they're all making a similar kind of wear. And yeah, Sowerby were doing too, and I suspect Bagley as well. But they were all creating these little simple bowls for, you know, flowers and posy vases and whatever, putting your peanuts in or whatever it was. Yeah, and they all have a very similar look, similar colours, you know, the ambers and blues and deep reds. Yeah, very difficult, tricky, not anything special, but just interesting thing that would be, everybody would have them in their home.
These people know their pressed glass. They have a few bits in here. There's a little cup at the top there. They've got, I think it's probably a tea mixing bowl. Davidson, and a little Tazza below is Molyneux Webb. And you've got this one here, Edward Moore. And you've got this plate here by H. Greener. And what's he got on there? I can't see the name on that one. Just says Victorian. So maybe I can find the celery vase. And then you've got more Tazzas by Molyneux Webb.
The label on the bowl in the middle, the little one on the foot, like a glass with handles on it, says Edward Moore, sugar / Tazza, reg number 82606, for the 30th of September 1887. So I did go through my books and there was no picture to go with that particular sugar bowl. The reg number and the date is correct, so it is from 1887. And I thought, let's go and have a look at the prices. And the prices are all over the shop, really. So this is one we were looking at. This one's got a lid, though, and it's $18.99. This is a different bowl. It's wider, flatter, so it's not that. This is the bowl that we were looking at here, I think. It's £14.50, but then once you put postage on, it's 20 quid. This one here is £30, and this one here is £38. So yeah, the prices are a bit all over the place. All I can say is there's this one here though. That's a good price because it's with a jug. So that's like about $16.68 with the jug. If you add the postage. Yeah, the prices are a bit all over the place. Some of them are very high, some of them are kind of okay-ish. I would say this is at the bottom end of the prices, really, where you're talking £10. There it is. So I can't really add any more than that, really. So apart from, yeah, the label looks to be absolutely right.
Bit more from down the front here. Clark's Fairy Light. Never seen that before. Then he's actually named these salts as well. They really do know that because there's so many millions of salts. Got the Sowerby basket. Shoe, I can't see who that's by. And it's got H. Greener. Little tea service set. And also even this one, which is a fairly common looking salt, he's got H. Greener around that one too.
Looking at the Sowerby 1878 catalogue, downloaded from the victorianpressglass.com website. And yeah, so this is the little basket that we were looking at, the white one that was in the middle there. And yeah, and the pattern number you had right is as well 1157. And a half is here, but there's what's interesting here is that yeah, you've got this one. So vitro porcelain opal is what they're calling that. So if it's like porcelain, yeah. But then you've got it in black, jet they're calling it, and then we've got it in blue. What do they call it here for blue? Turquoise. So anyway, it's a pale blue colour. It's not really turquoise. I've seen these. So they've got it twice. 557 and a half and 557. I have no idea what's going on there. Anyway, yeah, so it comes in at least 3 colours. I'm going to go and check something else, just in case. I'll show you what I'm checking. So yeah, I jumped forward because I wanted to check if they did it in slag glass, because in 1878 they didn't have slag glass in the catalogue, but by 1880 they did. Now they don't have it in slag glass, but they do have it in gold. There's no pale blue now, so that's gone, but it is in jet and white still. And yeah, so the slag, this is what I mean by slag glass, where it's this jiggly colours mixed up, blue ones and black ones, but no, there's no baskets of that pattern in those colours. So I just thought I'd check that out, but there is 4 colours then. So that's white, black, pale blue and gold.
Got a pair of White Friars Gold and Amber. I think it's M74 pattern. So I think that's from 1942 by William Wilson. But we can check that in the book. It's a derivative of the 2841. I might have got that wrong though. But anyway, we'll try and figure that one out.
So we're looking at the whitefriarsglassworks.com website, and yes, I thought I'd just show this first. This is the Whitefriars catalogue from 1940, and this is the pattern, the 2481. However, in 1942 this pattern was redesigned, I think, to make it more like utility wear, and they did it by basically taking the stem out. So it went from being a 3-piece glass to a 2-piece glass. So you just basically jammed the foot onto the bottom of the bowl, and you just took a step out of the making process. So, and you probably didn't need someone that was quite so skilled, I imagine, in doing that. Anyway, this is the decanter here. So if I skip forward to 1949, there it is again. It's got some ribs on it, and these are the glasses now without the stem on. So there we go. In fact, there's a better picture of it. That's the glass we're looking at. So now it's an M74. I think it was William Wilson that did the redesign. And yeah, so there you go. That's what it is. It's a Whitefriars glass in gold and amber. That colour is called.
Beautiful lemonade setting here. It's difficult to tell, but you've got this like ovoid jug here. Difficult to tell with the reflections, but it's got stars and dots on it. You've got matching glasses for it, tall glasses. It's really nice. It's difficult to tell with all the reflections going on in this, but it's very period, very 1950s. Also in the cafe area is a pair of I think Bagley Equinox bowls with them turned out like that. They're from 1938, and I'll show you what I mean by saying when I say it's turned out, because some of them are turned into and make like a ball, and some of them are turned out.
We're looking at the 20th Century Glass website. They're showing you the 2 types of Equinox bowl here. The flat ones and the round ones. They are actually out of the same mould. It's just that they press them out flat if they're going to make a flat one, and basically round them up a bit if they're going to make a round one. That's it. While the glass is still warm and malleable. And I think I read that they use wooden sticks to do it with. Anyway, so this is like the round version of the blue one. I think this is exactly what we were looking at. The frosted blue ones, flat ones. So let's go and have a look. And it says 1930s. One of my books gives me a year, 1938. So they don't have a pomple mark underneath you. It's just like a square bit that's pressed up because it is pressed glass. I was hoping there'd be a picture in the bottom so we could work out if they've cut it or not, but there isn't. So anyway, this is what it is. Blue frosted one. They do, let me go back again and I'll show you the different colours that they've got here. So they've got amber, green, black, and then, or jetique as they call it. And some of the black ones are just plain black, and some have little polka dot spots on them. And also there's these ones here. I'm not really keen on these. They're a bit kitsch, I think, with these little transfers on them like this. But yeah, it says hand painted, but I don't think they are hand painted. Anyway, that's what they are. So there you have it. And this one's got, on my visit, the second lot of sleeping Whitefriars, a cheeky pair of M74. I think they're wine glasses. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure if there are any more sleepers. Yeah, there are some more things that I've spotted in this that they don't know. But there's going to be, I think, at least 2 more parts. So I think we might be going up to part 5, looking at the amount of film that I've got left to go. And yeah, so with that, all the contact details for G-Dads will be in the description below. What else? All the references I use will be in the description below, and please remember to like and subscribe because it really helps my channel. So thank you for watching. Have a good night. Good night.